Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our webinar titled Strategic CFO Insights, Maximizing Resources to Drive Growth in the New Year. I'm Oumaïma, and I'll be your host today for this afternoon. So as we begin, I would like to introduce myself briefly. I'm a senior grants consultant at Leyton. I've been doing this for over 4 years, and I've had the privilege of working closely with many companies to unlock the potential of non-dilutive funding. So as CFOs and finance leaders, you sure are at the helm of your organization's growth strategies. But with today's challenges, such as budget constraints, talent competition, and scaling demand, it's essential to make every single dollar work. So I understand that it's harder and harder for the company. So as I said, in this session, we'll be exploring how we can leverage non-dilutive fundings. So any resources to be able to maximize the company's resources as well. So either is through boosting ROI in hiring or boosting it through product development or commercialization. So the goal is really to align your financial strategy with growth objectives. So by the end of the webinar, you hopefully will be walking away with actionable insights to stretch your budget and accelerate your company's growth. We will also be holding a Q&A after the presentation is over, so don't hesitate to send us all your questions. Alrighty. So the first thing I would like to talk about is non-dilutive funding. So just a one-on-one, an overview. So non-dilutive funding refers to financial support that doesn't really require you to give up equity or ownership in your company. So we can definitely think about grants and tax credit when we think about non-dilutive funding. So these funding options allow businesses to access resources for growth, for innovation, for operational needs without losing control over the company. So for tech companies, this can definitely mean financing research and development activities or piloting new projects. Now, while non-dilutive funding sounds like free money, I can assure you that it is not. So these are some misconceptions to clear up. First, grants often come with strict guidelines and eligibility criteria that we definitely must follow. So these guidelines on how the funds can be used should strictly be followed. Missing deadlines or failing to comply with reporting their requirements can definitely lead to problems. And additionally, some assume that these funds are very easy to obtain, when in reality, they require thorough research, they require detailed applications and alignment with the grantor's goals. And I would like to also share a few real-world examples to inspire you. So for instance, many startups have leveraged federal research grants to develop groundbreaking technologies. So I'm not even talking about startups at this point. So there are startups, there are medium-sized companies, there are big companies. So as long as you know how to leverage the grants and also tax credit, you can definitely switch how your company's finances work. So these examples just show the transformative potential of non-dilutive funding in whether you know what you're going to do with that grant or that tax credit to develop a certain product or a certain service and leverage that funding in order to boost the return of investment. So strategic use of government grant for property owners and investors. So government grants can be a game changer for property owners and investors, because there are definitely many programs like on the top of my head, the rental housing supply program in Toronto, the affordable housing fund, and the apartment construction loan program, which offer targeted support for development. So by aligning these opportunities with your financial strategy, you can definitely unlock significant funding to drive expansion and also drive innovation. To successfully secure non-dilutive funding, it is essential to first qualify your project. So this involves aligning your project's goals and activities with the funding's requirement. I just want to break it down into 3 categories. So there is research and innovation, expansion, and export and marketing. For projects focused on research and innovation, ask yourself, what is the innovation that you're looking to fund? Is it a new product? Is it a new process? Is it a new technology? Is it something new to the market, or is it building on an existing idea? And what is the development stage of the project? So if we're talking about a new technology, what is the technology readiness level of what you're developing? Are you in the early, mid, or advanced phases? And finally, what's your budget and what's your timeline for this project? So by answering these questions, you'll definitely gain more clarity on whether your project aligns with the funding opportunities that are targeting innovation or not. Regarding expansion-focused projects, you can start by identifying what's driving this expansion. So whether it's market demand, growth goals, or customer needs, you should consider the activities that you're looking to fund, because this could be opening a new facility, scaling operations, hiring staff. So just you need to know and determine what the activities you're looking to fund are. So ask yourself, will this expansion create new jobs? What's the potential ROI of this expansion? Do you already have customers waiting for this expansion, or is this expansion allowing you to generate more leads and more customers in the future? Will this project facilitate exports or help you enter a new market? And again, define your budget and timeline just to ensure that you have a clear roadmap. And lastly, for export and marketing, ask yourself, are you currently exporting? If so, where? What are the markets that you want to target? What are the markets that you're planning to enter? And do you have a presence there? Have you already exported there? Do you have revenues generated from that market or not? What are some of the costs you're looking to cover, such as market research, regulatory compliance, promotional efforts, going to trade shows, traveling to meet prospects, etc. And what's the project's overall budget and timeline? So this is really important, because all these questions will help you determine whether your project is ready to get a grant or a tax credit, and if it's ready for non-dilutive funding aimed at supporting international growth. So these questions will kind of be a sort of mini business plan to make sure that your project is ready before applying for a grant or for a tax credit. So now that we've covered how to qualify your project, I would like to dive into specific grant categories that are available to support many types of initiatives. So they are grouped into, as I said, research and innovation, expansion, and export and marketing. So when it comes to innovation and technology development, there are several key funding options. So first, there's agri-science, which is ideal for agricultural research and development. We have Alberta Industries Associate Program, which is aimed at supporting innovative industries in Alberta. IRAP, which is, it translates to the Industrial Research Assistance Program, which is tailored for small and medium-sized businesses working on tech innovations that will potentially be commercialized. Can Export Innovation, that supports innovation efforts aimed at international markets. Critical Industrial Technologies Initiative, which is aimed at fostering breakthroughs in industrial technologies. And then we have programs like ESOR, Eureka, and SIZE Challenge, which are designed for advanced R&D stages or collaborative innovation projects. Lastly, there is the SDTC, which is the Sustainable Development Technology Canada program, which funds projects that are targeting environmental and sustainability-focused technologies. But for expansion, so if you're focused on scaling your operations, there are different programs. So first, the business scale up and productivity, which is not a grant, but more a loan. It supports activities like process improvements, scaling operations, and productivity gains. The BC Manufacturing Jobs Fund helps British Columbia create jobs and grow. There's the Energy Innovation Smart Grid, which is focused on energy efficient technologies, and the Alberta Commercialization Grant, which is market, and Agri Innovates, which is of course for agricultural companies, that is designed for scaling and commercializing agricultural innovations. So finally, for businesses looking to enter international markets, there is the famous Can Export SMEs program, which is highly, highly valuable. And it supports activities like market research, business matchmaking, and regulatory compliance for exporting businesses. So it's really the go-to federal program for export and marketing. So it funds different activities from travel and trade show, marketing, translation, interpretation services, consulting, whether it's for business or legal or doing some matchmaking. So it's really, really interesting. And of course, I don't have to remind you there, if you're interested in any of these programs, you can just contact us and I will be happy to help you at any time. So the strategic use of government funds, there's strategic integration of programs like SHRED, which is the Scientific Research and Experimental Development Tax Credit, can help fund R&D without diluting your equity. So by aligning these resources with your hiring and scaling up plans, you can definitely optimize your financial strategy and unlock additional opportunities for growth. So this will help maximize the benefits of the grant applications through careful preparation and alignment with strategic goals. So with SHRED, which is one of Canada's most significant R&D tax credit programs, many companies don't realize how impactful this program is, because it's available to companies of all sizes, not just tech giants. It can refund up to 35% of eligible R&D expenditures, and sometimes even more for SMEs. The funds you receive can be reinvested in hiring talent, in scaling product development, or even accelerating commercialization. So to make the most of it, you should plan your projects very carefully. Keep detailed records of everything you do, of all the work that has been done, including the time spent. So if you have timesheets, that would be great. And any technical challenges that you have overcome and that you wish to overcome in the future. You must also think about involving experts. So working with advisors who know the system can definitely maximize your claim. And last but not least, aligning claims with your strategy. For instance, if you're focusing on hiring, consider how SHRED can offset those costs. So these are just some tips to leverage the SHRED tax credit into boosting the ROI of your company. So once your product is developed, the next challenge you would think of is commercialization and market readiness. So that's another TRL. Grants and tax credits can help bridge this gap. This is definitely going to allow you to allocate resources to marketing, to sales, and any other high impact growth areas. So as I said, there are different programs. On the top of my head, the Can Export program can do that, the business scale up. And if we're talking about provincial programs, maybe in Quebec, there's the PSCE one. So the key is identifying the right opportunities and then deploying the funds effectively to achieve the maximum impact. So for panel discussion, the balancing ambition with practicality in 2024, we have to align financial strategy with growth milestones. We definitely must navigate economic uncertainty while we pursue innovation. And after we're done, I would like to have a Q&A with you. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave that in the chat. And as we wrap up, I would like to recap some of the key takeaways from today's session. So we explored how to structure a CFO strategy using non-dilutive funding. We have outlined actionable steps to implement immediately. We shared some resources for deeper learning, but what I would like to emphasize is that we are available to assist you through all of that. So definitely do not forget to connect with us for personalized advice, or if you would like to discuss your unique challenges, we would like to walk you through all of that. So thank you for joining the webinar, and I look forward to hearing about your successes. For the Q&A, there is a question that I received. All right. Okay, so how can I determine if my company or project qualifies for a government grant? All right, so this is easy. Eligibility depends on factors like the type of your innovation, the project stage of development, and the intended outcomes. So when I speak about outcomes, think about the potential benefits that this project would have on your company, on your sector, on your region, and on the country. So job creation, export growth, any leads generated, any increase in investment, increase in sales, etc. And of course, the budget and the timeline. So it's essential to match your project objectives with the grants criteria. So we would look through the eligibility criteria, but we would definitely think about how this project would align with the requirement of the grant. Okay, question. What are the most common mistakes companies make when applying for grants? Yeah, so there are some mistakes when a company would like to apply for a grant. So applying for the wrong type of grant, or failing to provide enough information or detailed information like project budget or the detailed objectives of the project, the activities and the project plan, etc. Or just simply not aligning the application with the funding body's priorities. So these are some mistakes that companies could make, but thorough preparation and clear documentation are key to success. So as long as we are prepared, as we make sure that the information we provide aligns with what the program requires and what the program is expecting to read and see, to make sure that this project would be viable and determine that this project would potentially be successful. These are the keys to success. Other question. So how can I integrate non-dilutive funding into my company's broader financial strategy? So use funding to support growth initiatives such as R&D, hiring, market expansions. I think that, for instance, for R&D, integrating programs like SHRED, the tax credit, or if maybe you have an expansion project, you could think about can export. So integrating these programs into your strategy can definitely enhance cash flow without impacting equity. Are grants and tax credits limited to specific industries? Okay, well, while some grants are target specific sectors, for instance, for agriculture, we have AgriScience, AgriInnovate, the ICT, which is the Agricultural Clean Technology, or we have Clean Tech, we have manufacturing specified grants or tax credits. Others, like, for instance, the SHRED tax credit or the can export program, these are broadly applicable. So it's just crucial to research and identify the opportunities relevant to the business prior to submitting an application. All right. Does Leyton help businesses in any sectors? My consulting firm Okay. Yes. So Leyton helps businesses in any sectors. We would, prior to signing a contract or starting the mandate, we would have a call to determine what the grant or what the tax credit opportunities that your company might benefit from are, before starting anything. So we first would like to see if the company is eligible, if the project aligns with any program requirements, and what are the programs that could align with the project are. So yes, we help businesses in any sectors. Can you please help understand on grants for commercialization and marketing grants that are available? So there are commercialization and marketing grants that are available. So for the moment, for instance, the Can Export program is currently closed, but we are expecting it to reopen by the end of the government fiscal year. But so for commercialization and marketing, the Can Export program focuses more on expansion outside of Canada. So commercializing your products or services outside of the country, the program would help you through different activities to succeed in this commercialization, through marketing efforts, through traveling to meet prospects or key contacts in the target market. There are also trade shows if you're looking to meet new prospects or new clients or new partners. There is protecting your IP. There is consulting, either legal, business, as I said, or doing some matchmaking activities or some market research. So there are many grants in that. So just on the top of my head, this is the Can Export one, but there are many grants that we can assist you. And if you would like to conduct a commercialization and marketing project. How can we get grants for the business, like research and innovation? So as I said, prior to starting anything, we would like to meet with the company reps first to understand what the projects are, if the project aligns with any of the program's requirements. We would also like to discuss some technicalities to make sure that we are starting the mandate on the right foot. So we will help you determine the list of grants and programs and tax credit that your company might benefit from after understanding what the project you would like to conduct is. But just as I said, don't hesitate to contact us. We can definitely accompany you in doing that. What is considered a startup? Does the company need any form of revenues before applying? So yes, so it's not considered a startup for us. It's considered a startup for the programs. But usually programs would suggest that you are at least a year into operation. And haven't declared any revenues is really, really important, because first they would like to see that the company is kind of doing well, and before they invest, because they see you as an investment, before they invest any money into your project or into your company, they must see that you will be able to sustain yourself after that project is done, and that you will be able to carry that project to success. So drafting a clear business plan is definitely an interesting point and a very necessary one. But we accompany you when it comes to drafting the application, to when it comes to defending your project and your company, when it comes to doing the market research, etc. But of course, we just need to make sure that the company is eligible. And when I say eligible, that the company is eligible as a startup, and that the revenues they have declared in their last fiscal year is enough for them to apply to a project. I have another question. Can I combine multiple grants or funding programs for a single project? So the answer is yes. However, you must always ensure compliance with the rules of each program. So some grants allow stacking, while others might have some restrictions. So we need to carefully review the terms of each funding source and make sure that we are not above the government's funding stacking limit. All right, what about startups who are in research development or IT projects but not yet commercialized? Then no revenue yet. So in this case, I think it would be best to dig deeper into tax credits rather than grants, because for grants, there is a minimum of revenues required, usually not in all of grants, but in most of them. However, that doesn't mean that we cannot look into tax credits. So for instance, I think the SHRED program would be eligible. It's just that we need to clarify that the projects and the activities and what the company is doing aligns with the program requirements, and that makes them eligible. All right. I think that's it for the moment. However, if you have any more questions, just leave them out in the chat. We will contact you with any answer, and also we will leave my email address. So if you have any other questions, or if you would like some insights, or if you'd like some meetings to see if there are some grants or some tax credit that you might benefit from, don't hesitate to reach out, and I will personally be very, very happy to accompany you through it all. So it's been a great pleasure hosting this webinar for you. I look forward to more in the future, and it's been a great pleasure. I hope you have a great afternoon, and I will see you soon. Thank you.